I'm Fanny Zacharias Corman.
I am Roger Corman. We're the Cormans. I've been involved in Young Judaea since my brother held his club meetings in our basement, which is 1961.
And I've been involved with Young Judaea for 52 years.
Hi, I'm Allison Goldberg. I've been a part of Young Judaea as far as I can remember.
We met in front of the Honorees at Tel Yehuda.
We know the exact spot.
I met my husband when I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and we started dating when I was at TY and 15 years old. The opportunity to meet when we were young, have critical touch points throughout different stages of development were important because we have those shared experiences. I'm really grateful to Young Judaea for the relationships it fosters, both my friendship, my marriage.
My kids make fun of me and I get emotional. I don't get emotional about a lot of stuff, but this makes me emotional. That 50 years later, I could still be friends with the people that I went to Israel with. It infused joy into living as Jews and in having a dialogue about Israel. And I felt that this is something that I would want my children to experience.
Camp has had a bigger impact on my life than just keeping me busy and having fun for a couple of months. It really has transformed and shaped my life.
It was the first time I had ever tried to do anything that independent. That was extremely impactful, and it was an incredibly wonderful, amazing summer.
It's a standing joke, an inside joke of Young Judeans that when they're asked how could they do so well in academia or in business, the inside joke is we all think to ourselves, yeah, we learned it at camp when we were 14 or 15.
I think it's rare to be someone who's just 9, 10, 12, 15 years old and to be responsible for developing programming for their peers, to be expected to negotiate. I think a lot of my training in terms of both skill development, leadership development that I use in the boardroom and work today was fostered at a very young age through Young Judaea.
I think that people who have gone through Young Judaea probably take it for granted, but when I look across my peer group, it's not a coincidence that people who have gone through this process are doing exceptional things.
I remember the first time when I was 14 and I was given my first opportunity to just lead a discussion in Young Judaea. And that was such a big moment for me.
I would also say that Young Judaea fostered a big passion of mine for social change. Young Judaea helped facilitate the importance of Tikkun Olam in my life and finding ways to explore how we can make that a reality in really diverse communities that need it around the world.
The phrase, "you and I will change the world," was like a heartbeat to me and my friends. Sorry, see this second. I'm having like this flood of memories. We were so passionate and committed. It's not like that's gone away, but there's this purity when you're a teenager, right? And I remember this moment in my life, this turning point of feeling like I can be an activist. I can change the world. And my friends felt that way too.
It's a common connection that you'll have throughout your life, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, where it's as though if you haven't seen someone, you'll immediately be able to connect on that level. Whether they're older than you or younger than you, you've got this network of people who have shared those experiences.
From the earliest days when my husband Shai and I talked about having a family, it was always understood that our kids were going to go to Camp Young Judaea Sprout Lake and that they were going to be part of that amazing community.
Becky talks about it with a lot of passion and how much that experience formed her and how important it is to the future of our family.
I learned about Young Judaea almost in my first date with Lily. Lily is very emotional every time she talks about Young Judaea. It's such an important way of describing what she expects for her family.
There is not a huge Jewish community where I live. And so knowing in the back of my mind that there is camp for my kids to be able to be immersed in Jewish culture with Jewish friends all summer is something that means a lot to us as parents.
As kids who grew up in a very small Jewish community in Lorain, Ohio, which most people had never heard of, being able to expand your scope and what's possible. It pushes you into a place where you want to explore even more. And you realize when you come back to your home community, there's more that you can give.
I haven't been a Young Judaea camper, been in your course for, a couple decades now, which is crazy to think, but still when you ask me about it, it's still something that's really present. I can't wait for my kids to be a part of it.
So this summer, I had the opportunity, the joy, the honor of dropping off my 2 daughters at Camp Sprout Lake.
At first I was definitely very, very nervous because I had no clue what was about to happen. It turned out really, really fun. It's a really fun place. My favorite Jewish thing at camp was prayers in the morning.
The fact that our eldest granddaughter started Sprout Lake this summer makes it 3 generations. Us, our children, our grandchildren. It's just very fulfilling and satisfying. It's wonderful.
The organization is resilient because I think that the values really resonate with people who are within the process, who are young, and also people who have gone through the process and are now at a later stage of their life.
There is no thing more inspirational than to listen to today's young Judeans talk about how they are going to change the world. You feel as if there truly is a rhythm and a continuity to our lives that will survive long past our participation. It's a very humbling experience to be recognized. I hope that in some ways we are an important link in the chain, but there are many links before us and many links after us.
I think it's a big honor to be getting this award from Young Judaea. I hope that some of the fundamental values that Young Judaea has instilled in me will continue. The importance of tikkun olam, the importance of friendship, the importance of being true to yourself. I hope Young Judaea will continue to foster that, as well as continue to grow a generation of open-minded, thoughtful, kind, and generous individuals.
Thank you, Young Judaea and Tel Yehuda, for everything you've given us.